I don't hate it, right?
There you go.
But then we still have the blue light coming from the window, but that's got to be not much. That can't be too much. I mean, you can see it actually spilling in over here, but
I like a little blue.
yeah, it would ideally in a studio you'd block that off and stuff like that. But
Well, this is not an ideal situation.
It's
dude.
just not.
That's
It's not.
That's where we get our strength.
Yes, that is true. That is true. That is true.
People like to do things in an ideal way, and they're cowards.
That's not us. Yeah, that is quite honestly and truly not us. So let's move this lighting a bit forward. We're kind of restarting a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what this lighting. This is like this is a little bit sexy of lighting. I'm not gonna lie, man.
You know, maybe we needed to go that way.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's important for
a little bit of sexiness to come.
I think there's nothing wrong with sexy.
Yeah.
There's only right. Like
yeah, no. If
people
you
are
kinda
afraid.
Oh yeah, no. I'm a single.
People want to be tough. I like sexy over tough.
I'm a single guy. I'm looking to possibly have someone want to fuck me. Possibly.
It's kind of my only guiding light.
Is it really? Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Not for me, man. Mine is weed and booze. That is my guiding light. But
but I mean, at the end of the day,
I don't know, man. I've had my heart broken too many times. So at the end of the day, kind of for me, it's weed and booze.
Yeah. Well,
I guess for humanity, though, you're right. For humanity, at the end of the day.
I mean, whatever. I'm just saying, me.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was a wee lad.
Okay.
Like, I remember going to class in like first grade.
Yeah.
And not liking class until there was this girl named Carrie.
Yeah, you know what? That in kindergarten too.
Yeah, in kindergarten, and you were like, you know what? She's in this class. This class ain't so bad. You know what I mean?
I remember they sat me next to this, to Christina Sicosio was her name, and she used to share her crayons with me. And I was
what
in
a
love,
lovely person.
And then so she was sitting to the left of me, right? I was to the right of her, and then they moved Adam Wilder to next to her, right on the other
she
side.
Was in the fucking
so now
middle.
she's in between, right? And she's like, "I'm going to share my crayons with both you and Adam Joe."
Oh,
and I was like, "Motherfucker!"
I get
man.
it. Then in that situation, I could see why. Yeah,
that was tough.
I could see why the weed and booze came in. Because you can control weed and booze.
Yeah, right.
They won't.
But
they can be all yours.
It's an Adam Wilder entered my world, man, and
you just
fucked shit up.
You
dude.
just blew
I hope
my
he's doing
mind.
well. He's a good guy.
Well, it's not his fault.
It's not his fault too. Yeah, Christine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, Christina just want to share crayons, man.
Yeah, dude.
But
I can see.
That was a lot of heartbreak.
I see where that turned.
Yeah, that was a lot of heartbreak. That was a lot of heartbreak.
You were fucking
in kindergarten.
set.
Yeah,
and
a lot of heartbreak. Yeah. That's real, dude. That's a real flashback right there, man.
Bro, I feel that in my chest.
Yeah.
Just fucking, you know what I mean? Like, just her, you're like, oh, I need a purple. And you look up and she's handing the purple to homie.
Yeah, right.
And they're giggling.
Yeah, dude. And dude, and I didn't even know why, right? Because this is before puberty and everything, right? You know what I mean? So it's really like an emotional attachment. Like
you're like, it wasn't like you weren't like, I'm gonna fuck her.
Yeah, I was like,
first grade.
I was like, this is my friend. You can't share my friend.
She makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And now I don't feel good because she's
sharing
with, dude. I'm gonna cry right now.
Very primal. Very
that shit
primal.
just got.
Yeah, that's real.
That is real.
That is real.
And the only way out of all that is to not covet, but to allow, what was her name? Christina?
Yeah, Christina.
Allow Christina to live her best life. And that's all you can want for her.
Yeah.
Is the only way through that.
Oh yeah.
You
But that's all you can want for anybody. You kind of, after a while,
I know, but easier said than done.
You're like, life is so once again, weed and booze. That is, that's
easier said than done.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, if you just want to do it without weed and booze, no, that cannot be done.
Well, no, I will push back on you because I've been doing it without weed or booze. It's harder.
It is harder, so much harder.
And you know what? The solution is not as fun or cool.
Yeah, it's like AA meetings,
Well, or like, like,
exercise and stuff, and
but like in terms of like, dude, the thing I do now, because I can't do drugs. I mean, I can,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't. Is the most, talk about weird. You were talking about weird,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is I pray for that person to I'm not like a fucking God guy, or
Yeah,
even though I
yeah,
said
yeah,
God is everything,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like
No, I feel you. I feel you.
the action of praying, I don't know who I'm praying to. I don't know what I'm just saying these words
Yeah,
of like, I pray for that person to live their best life without any attachment to me.
yeah,
Yo, that shit works,
yeah.
which is bananas, because like
You're just placing it in your head. That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're just placing it in your head.
okay,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm not.
Fair enough. No, it works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If it works, it works. If
Yeah.
it works, it works.
And
No,
it doesn't
100%,
work
100%,
like you do that
100%.
once and now it's cured.
Yeah, yeah. You got to keep
But
on
I mean,
doing it.
you gotta,
It's like chiropractic care. It really is.
or it's like hitting it as hard as I used to hit the weed and the booze.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
just got to do it constantly. But
Yeah.
it's definitely not something you. I was a little bummed that was the solution that was offered.
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
it to be way cooler.
Yeah. I guess, man, my only vices are weed and booze and comedy. Those are all my vices. Weed, booze, and stand-up.
But it's,
So just go.
you think,
I'm fine.
I would say like comedy's not a vice.
No, it's not a
an
vice,
art
but I
form.
just treat it like a vice, if that makes
Oh,
sense. You know what
okay.
I mean?
Yeah.
I'll say that it kind of replaces that, which is nice. I like that. You know what I mean? I like that that's my... I think people who join religions are I think that's a vice. You know what I mean? I think if someone's sitting in a church every week, I'm like, that's a vice.
What do you
you're
use
addicted
to
that.
cope, or what do you use
Yeah.
to get help?
Yeah. Because you're hurting people.
We were talking that.
You're hurt if you're sitting in church every week, dude. You're fucking hurting people. You really are, dude. Because you're not facing reality. You're truly, someone is being hurt by your lack of. I know, because my mom was a religious addict, so she
Okay.
would like go to church every day.
What was the
so that-
religion?
Catholic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she would like just ignore her problems and just go to
Yeah.
church and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw that that's what people do. That's what religion offers.
Right.
It's just a way to just fucking, oh no, I'm going to heaven after I die. Like, it's just a way to just not face today.
Dude.
And in my mind, I'm like, that's just fucking terrible, dude. Listen, man, I avoid a lot of my problems, but I also just create art every day. I create something every day. I literally create something every day. I go out and I do stand up, or I edit something for a friend, or I do a podcast like this,
Yeah.
or I write an article on Medium. I just do something every day to send
You know
a
what's
message out in
interesting
a
about what-
bottle.
So you're talking about creating, and that's what you were talking about earlier when you were talking about like the Jewish concept of like, or getting around my concept
Figure it
of
out.
like
Figure it out. Yeah.
dying and creation.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I guess I am creating every day, and the death is that I'm trading my time, right? You know what I mean? So I'm creating something. The death is it's the death of time, and to that creation. But once again, man, I try to be a one-man band, dude. I try to not, I try to have all my creation. I try to be a one-man band, so I try to have all my creation be pure in that way, where I'm not exploiting people.
Yeah, I mean, I think the humans get it wrong, right?
Humans get it
and
wrong.
we kind of have to have the ability to get it wrong so we can learn,
Okay.
right?
We
I mean,
have to have the ability. Well, 100%. Yeah, of course.
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, talking about your mom,
Well, I'm going to set a timer just to make sure we know. What
I'm
we're...
just going to be over here being like, does he
No.
not care about what I'm saying
Go
right
ahead,
now?
go ahead, go
Is
ahead.
he on Instagram? Is he lining up? No. So like, because I went to 12 years of Catholic school, right?
Oh yeah, same.
And I didn't learn much.
Yes, yeah.
I only learned things like that I was angry at later when
Okay,
I
yeah,
went to
yeah.
like college, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Oh, I think it's all, dude. It's such hocus pocus. Catholicism is it's neo-paganism. It's a human sacrifice religion.
sure, it's all. But I
It's
think,
literally a human sacrifice religion.
but I will say this:
They literally every week sacrifice Christ. That's like the whole thing. You know? What I
well,
mean?
that
Like,
part
it's
is
like,
so strange.
It's a human sacrifice religion.
Well,
it's literally people who used to.
Nobody talks about the cannibalism.
The people.
There's cannibalism.
Okay.
Like you're eating the body.
Okay, so imagine this is.
Are we going to eat Jesus right now?
This is how Christianity started. Okay, this is how Christianity started. This, dude. Once again, this is a podcast about things that I'm not going to do anymore. One is be a part of religion, especially Christianity. It is a human sacrifice religion. Think about it. You have pagans. Where are pagans living? Rome, the Roman Empire. What are they doing? What do pagans do? Well, here's what pagans do. They literally kill stuff.
What do pagans do?
They kill stuff in order to appease God. Kill a goat, make the crops grow. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what happens is if the crops won't grow, you keep on killing better and better stuff until you're killing people.
Yeah.
Okay? And so you go, okay, well...
He doesn't... They don't think we believe.
The pagan priest says I have to kill every third child. Literally every third child. And that will make the crops grow. And so you literally start to do that.
It's
and so
a
you
real
have this
crazy trial and error.
You have this mom who's like, I don't want to kill every third child. And the dad is like, well, I don't know. We went to the temple and we were told to do this. Like, we have to do this. So it's a huge problem. And then this thing comes along called Christianity. And they say, hey, man, we got a solution to your problem. We also have a human sacrifice religion, but God sacrificed his son. Yeah. So now your human sacrifice sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks compared to the sacrifice God did. Yeah. And ready for this? God sacrificed his son at this one time, but it doesn't happen over and over again, but it kind of does. Yeah. Every week, the same thing actually happens again, but only happened once, but it happens again every week. You don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
It happened, it happened
don't
once.
Think about and eat the flesh
and
of
then
this
you eat the flesh of this person, okay?
Put this in your mouth.
Just like the priests in Apocalypto are cutting out a heart and then drinking the blood. That's literally what paganism was. Yeah. And so they go, hey, we're going to do imaginary paganism, but it's real. Remember that. It's actually real. And everyone bought in. Why? It fixes the problem of human sacrifice. And ready for this? That's still where Christianity grows, is in third world countries where they still practice human sacrifice because they don't know how to read. If you don't know how to read, if you know nothing about science or math, you will practice human sacrifice. Your brain will just go there. You just cut deals with God.
In a weird way, the Christianity was a good thing because then people weren't getting killed, even though they were getting killed in other ways.
The people who go and flock to Christianity are people who firmly believe that someone needs to be sacrificed for them to get ahead. They have that mindset. Yeah. And so they go to a place that forgives specifically that tells them you're right, you are weak, you do exploit people.
But it's definitely not framed that way.
It's not framed that way, but it's subconscious. It's so subconscious. There's a book called The Master and Margarita. It's all about it. It's a human story of Christ. It's this idea that there was this hippie dude and he's like, hey man, you don't got to respect authority. And Pontius Pilate's like, oh, I got to kill this guy. Like he was literally a guy saying, you don't got to respect authority and I'm authority. So what it is this idea where now Pontius Pilate feels guilty. So what do? You bow down to the person that you killed. So what it is all these people go to church. It's mobsters. Mobsters, they exploit people. And what do they pick as their religion? The Catholic Church. Why? Because it's a religion that says, yeah, you do exploit people. That's human nature. But Christ forgives you. Christ knows that. Christ got exploited voluntarily because he knows that that's what people do. And so it just resonates with those people, dude. So, man, if you meet a diehard Christian, it's a psychopath, dude. It's a person who firmly believes humans have to be sacrificed in order for people to get ahead. That's just original sin, man.
Is it a psychopath or is it somebody that's just really afraid?
Man, it might be, but there's a better way, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what the
thing is, and the better way isn't even that hard. It really isn't. And so I don't really believe that. I think it's people who they have a lot, man, and they want to justify the fact that they have a lot, and they're confronted with this idea that people suffer all the time, so you can have a lot, and then they cling to something that forgives that forgives specifically that exploitation of a person to keep luxury, to keep authority, to keep all these different things, man. Because that was the whole thing is you have this Christ story. The Sanhedrin wants him dead. That was the whole thing. There was the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And the only thing they agreed upon, these two different factions of Judaism, the only thing they agreed upon was there was this third faction of Judaism called Christianity being born, and they wanted that gone. and they wanted that guy gone. And so they went to Rome and they were like, hey man, you got to kill this guy on our behalf. And Rome's like, I don't want to kill Pontius Pilate. I don't want to kill this guy. And they're like, no, talk to him. And Pontius Pilate talks to him. And he's like, yeah, I don't obey authority. And Pontius Pilate was like, oh, I agree with the Pharisees and Sadducees now. So Pontius Pilate killed him. It's an authority thing. It's an authority thing. That's why the story resonates with everyone.
Control.
It's not a Jewish story. It's an authority story.
Control.
Yeah, it just happened within Jewish culture is where the story took place. That's all that is. But the story happens everywhere. The story happens in every single culture, man.
What's amazing to me is like
of mice and men. He had to kill his buddy.
Yeah.
It's like this weird thing, but you don't have to kill your buddy. That's the story. You know what I mean?
You don't have to kill anybody.
Yeah, but in Mice and Men, he felt he had to kill his buddy so that he didn't suffer, even though he loved his buddy.
The interesting thing is, like, for me, when it comes to religion, or let's just take Catholicism or Christianity or whatever, is like there's always such a debate about what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
And what I wonder is like, you got like one teaching of Jesus, which is, I think, fucking the best one.
Okay.
Which is, they who are without sin, let them cast the first stone. Right?
Yeah.
Like that shit is gold. And I wish people would just run with that.
Nah, I don't think people cast enough stones because there are certain times where I am without sin, man. I look at people and I'm like, no. I'm going to tell you. I look at people and I go, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? In that way, you know what I mean? Where I'm without that sin. I'm without that sin. So I should be able to call that out.
He doesn't say
you know
this.
What I mean? I think what happens is
this or that sin. It's.
Well, I think people have that mentality, right? And that's why the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world happen, because people go, well, I have sins, and you go, dude, I don't have that sin. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
We got to go after that guy.
I'm not that fucked up.
You know what I mean? We got to go after that guy. But that's what happens, man, is it becomes an excuse for everything, dude. Politicians steal from people, and people go, well, I'm not perfect too. And it's like, yeah, dude, no, I'm not stealing from unions.
Right, but then you have like
on a mass scale. I'm just not doing that. And even if I was in that position, guess what? I probably wouldn't do that. And I don't know. And you go, oh, well, you don't know. And you go, yeah, man, no, there are a lot of people who do get to that position and they don't do that. And so that's possible. 100%. And I can show you those people. Right. And so I don't mind throwing a stone at the people who do exploit people, man. Like, it's like, I always hate that shit when people say that. Because, yeah, it's like,
I think it's fucking, I think we are such a we're so conditioned to be these stone casters.
Everyone's a hall monitor lately. Lately,
everybody's a fucking hall monitor.
Lately, everyone's a hall monitor.
I was the worst hall monitor.
But they're hall monitors about stupid shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my point. They don't actually go after any good hall monitoring.
Yeah,
because it's just too complicated. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, dude, once again, this is a podcast about shit I'm not going to do. I didn't get vaccinated. Fuck that. I knew that was new technology. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. Brand new technology. Now it turns out that, they kind of didn't work. But no one cast that stone because it's really tough to explain it. It's really tough to be a scientist and be like, well, the vaccine doesn't really work. And you literally just, dude, anyone who took that vaccine now has AIDS. You have AIDS. You straight up have AIDS. And I'm going to tell you, and you go, no, I don't have AIDS. No. Hear me out. People who have AIDS have to take a shot or a pill every day to make sure their AIDS doesn't come back. If you took that vaccine, you now, correct me if I'm wrong, you now have to go get your fucking boosters until you die. You have AIDS. You signed up for AIDS. That's just what you have now, and you have to deal with that. Seriously. You have to go get a booster now. Fuck that. You know who doesn't have to get a booster? Me. Because I never took jab 1. AIDSless. Me. But anyone who took that jab, booster. And not just that, dude, you have to get the booster from the same company. If Moderna goes under, you're now without your AIDS medication. That's insane, dude. You literally have to go back to the same company. That's like a cable subscription that you can't cancel. If you got the vaccine, you have AIDS and you have a cable subscription, you cannot cancel. You can't cancel it.
I feel not qualified.
Not AIDS, HIV, obviously. If you have AIDS, you're too late. But but yeah, if Moderna goes under and you don't get your booster, it will turn to AIDS.
I think you bring up a very interesting point.
Isn't that wild, dude?
Which is
I don't got to play that game.
Nobody knows for sure.
I saw a woman walk by a City MD the other day and go, "Oh, I swear to God, this is how when I realized this."
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, they have Moderna. I gotta get my booster." I'm like, this woman's a customer for life. When does it end? You're now just on the regimen, dude.
Right,
you
but like
signed up for bad health.
But what are your qualifications?
Here are my qualifications. Okay, ready for this?
Yeah.
This is Joe Camerota's
Joe
qualifications.
Camerota's qualifications on vaccines.
I
Go.
read The Economist every week.
Okay.
I'm catching up right now because I just moved to my new place.
Okay.
But I read it every week for the
Okay.
most part. And then I catch up whenever I have to. I guess take some days off, go on jogs. I do it
Okay.
on audio. I do an audio version. Okay. Few years before 2020, about 2-3 years before 2020, big article in the science and technology section of The Economist saying, hey, there's this new vaccine called mRNA vaccines and they're cheaper. The pharmaceutical company is trying to save money in the vaccine department. So they created this new type of vaccine that will probably work as good as because regular vaccines exist, by the way. That's the thing that exists. And they go, so there's a new mRNA vaccine. And The Economist says it's showing some potential. And this is like 3 years before COVID. And they say, but we won't know for another 40, 50 years because we need to do long-term human trials.
Sure.
This is what they say in The Economist, okay? I read that and I go, that's very interesting. Maybe in 40 or 50 years, we will have a cheaper solution for vaccines so we can have wider scale vaccines because it's cheaper. Okay, that's how they pitched
When
it,
your
right?
Kenny Powers movie comes out.
Right? Yeah. That's how they pitched it. So it would be cheaper and everything like that. It was really just want to make more money, right? That's why you're making anything cheaper. They say, no, but it's available for more people. That's why we're making it cheaper.
Yeah.
No, you want to save money. So then 3 years later, COVID comes around and the news goes, hey, there are these new vaccines called the mRNA vaccines. Now The Economist is coming back around going like, new studies show it might be ready. We don't know. Maybe, I don't know what's going on. And even The Economist is all dopey about it. And so that's my qualifications.
Right.
And here's the thing, man. I'm reading medical journals. So you go, okay, which The Economist is, science and technology section. That's a medical journal. It really, truly is. And so you go, yo, man, what are my qualifications? That, I don't know. I'll give you some more qualifications. If you go on to SSRI.com, this is true. It's where actual academic papers are published. Go on there and click on the top ranked papers. You'll see papers from like Georgetown, Harvard scientists, Georgetown scientists, and they're all like, hey, these vaccines shouldn't be pushed on kids. Like it's not good, it's not healthy, stuff like that. And these are actual scientists writing that, and those papers are available.
Surreal
and so you just
clusterfuck.
go, yeah, man. Like,
So are you saying that the vaccine did in no way prevent certain people from dying of COVID?
There's a video on that Elon Musk just put out where it has all the newspaper articles and it's like 100% effective rate, 90% effective rate, 80% effective rate, and it goes all the way down to 20% effective rate, and that's why people have to keep getting the boosters. If it was above 70%, you wouldn't have to get a fucking booster.
But you would
it
say
literally goes down to like 20% every single time.
Did people survive COVID because they took the vaccine?
No,
Okay.
100%. 100%. I think it was a gamble. They said to pharmaceutical companies, you need to create a vaccine. They said, we want to do it in a cheaper way to make more money. It was a cash grab. They said, just say that it works. And here's the craziest part, man, is the reason the jabs were free is because I did buy my jab already. Taxes paid for it. I just didn't show up and get it. But did my taxes pay for it? Am I paying for my jabs? I am paying for every last fucking jab that I'm not getting. Because of course they make them for everybody.
I understand that.
It's like a Titanic situation. You got to make enough lifeboats. You know what I mean? It's that sort of situation, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's no correlation that says that people lived. In fact, people might have died, dude. No one really knows, dude. No one knows.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows, right?
Dude, you're talking about not just that, man. You're talking about if you reported more COVID at your hospital, you got more money. Hey, guess what? If I run a fucking hospital and I do not care if I just fell into that position, dude, I'm just like, yeah, man, just say it's COVID. If the person was near someone with COVID, I'm writing near someone with COVID. And as long as I'm not lying and that counts and it just unlocks more money, then that's all I'm doing. I would even say that in court. Well, I heard that if I wrote they were in the same room as a person who had COVID, it would unlock more money. So I wrote that. Is that not true? I was told that was true. No, it is true. Okay, cool. Fuck off. You know what I mean? That's literally...
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
so yeah, I'm not taking the vaccines. You guys do what you want.
There's always going to be people taking advantage of money that's being thrown
Oh,
around.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You know,
100%. There's always going to be the sharks when that happens. And I think this one was a feast.
Well, every war is a feast.
Yeah.
For some, you know, that's why there's so many wars. I mean, I'm not saying anything that people don't already know, but what I'm curious about is...
I'm going to tell you what I think it was.
Okay.
Here's what I think it was. It's a rehearsal for something, whether it's real or not, but this is what it's a rehearsal for. It's a rehearsal for aliens coming. When you think about it, a virus is an alien. It's a microscopic alien. And the whole world has to unify together to fight this microscopic alien. So it's like a fire drill. It's a worldwide fire drill, right? Think about it. How would you do a worldwide fire drill? If you need to do an in case aliens come worldwide fire drill, everyone go inside your homes. We're going into lockdown. There's an alien ship outside. We don't know what's going on. How would you run a test on that? You'd bring about aliens. How do you bring about an innocuous alien? You make a virus. In fact, you maybe engineer a virus that only kills the terminally ill, only kills the elderly. Because then it's kind of like you can do the fire drill without mass hysteria. Because it's the people that are dying are people that were already in hospice anyway. And they are dying before their time, but it's like 1 week before their time, 2 weeks before their time, 3 months before their time, 6 months before their time. It's so marginal that the people who are waiting for the inheritance kind of don't give a fuck anyway. Okay? They already said goodbyes to these people, to these particular people, right? So you run that fire drill. Now you go, well, why do you funnel money into pharmaceutical companies? Oh, that's easy. That's the easiest explanation of all. Same reason why Little Island goes up. Do you know Little Island off the coast of the High Line over here?
I don't. Oh, yeah, that fucking piece of shit.
Man-made island. Man-made island.
What the fuck is that?
I'll tell you what that is. Hey, ready for this? If you make new land, you can then put a Starbucks on that land. Okay? What it is billionaires want to figure out how to make new land. They don't want to spend their billions. They create the lobbyists who then go to the government and say, hey, they pay the lobbyists. It's way cheaper. If you want to do research and development on how to build new land in the ocean, it's way easier to pay a lobbyist to get tax money unlocked than it is to spend your money.
Right.
Okay. 100%. Like way more cost effective.
Way more gambling in boats.
Okay. So I'm a billionaire. I want to live for forever. How am I going to live for forever? Drugs. Who's going to create those drugs? Pharmaceutical companies. What do I need to do? I need to create something that funnels shit tons of money to pharmaceutical companies. Because now the politicians are going to go back to those pharmaceutical companies and say, hey, man, we're going to have to take this back unless you start giving people something good in exchange.
Do people go to Little Island?
Yeah.
Is it a success?
Yeah. So they're giving people something in exchange. And they already started it. They have this that new drug that's going to end obesity. You heard about this shit?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the number one killer of people. They're just kicking the football back. They're kicking the football back.
You know what I do?
They're kicking the football back. If you're a billionaire and you're obese, you go, I don't want to die in 10 years. Give me something. You need research and development.
I'm going to cast a stone.
Go ahead.
In saying, you know what was really awesome? What for me was when they came out with that Meta, right?
Okay.
Which was like, there was a commercial for Meta, and it was like people as their avatars living in this fake world.
Dude, I was just I will never take part in that.
But
shit.
what was amazing?
I don't play video games.
No, but what was amazing was like
I don't play video games.
I felt the world said, this is enough for that.
Yeah.
And it like didn't work.
The world was like, maybe I should go outside.
And I was like,
The world was like, you know what? I will go camping.
Yeah.
I will go on that camping trip. This has gone too far, Mark. You're now literally selling me. You're selling me my dystopia.
Yeah.
You're actually selling me
which was
you're actually selling me You're selling me my Blade Runner. You are
that
literally. You're
that
selling
made me feel
I haven't
so
even seen
good
Blade
for
Runner, but it probably right.
The fact
yeah.
that like that was
You're
a
actually
flop.
selling me the Matrix. You're asking me. You're expecting me to pay for the Matrix.
I was like,
You're-
okay, we haven't lost our way completely.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
That's funny, dude. You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna go camping.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to actually fund the Matrix. I'm
Dude,
literally
that-
not going to buy Matrix goggles. Like that is
I
right.
remember that commercial. There was
Isn't
like,
that the whole point of the
people were,
movie? Where like
gambling.
yeah. Thank God for
in
the
a
Wachowski
pseudo
siblings,
world.
right?
Dude,
yeah.
it was,
Yeah, right.
bro.
People were just like, "Nah, man, I'm good, dude.
Nah, yeah.
I'll
You
do.
know what?
I'll
This
do
gone
actual
too far.
stand up. I'll do
Yeah.
actual stand up. You know what I mean? Although, dude, could you imagine? Can you imagine stand up in a world where no one knows who you are, like an Avatar world? Good lord, dude.
Oh, you mean with
people
the,
just unloading?
Yeah, but it
you know
would
what I
be
mean?
you wouldn't be able to say whatever you want. It'd be regulated.
Oh yeah, it would be heavily regulated. Yeah.
But-
I'm not even saying it in a good way. Say whatever you want. It would just be people. It would be cowards. You know what I mean? Saying like weird stuff, which isn't what they
Oh,
want.
yeah.
They're just, it'd be all the internet. You're right. It would be regulated. It would
be regulated.
I would watch it. I don't know if I'd partake because it's a little too off the rails for me.
If it weren't regulated, it'd actually be a dumpster fire as well. But
like here's what I'm saying. Reddit is like kind of unregulated, right? You can kind of talk shit on Reddit, right? All
So
you
that's-
want.
yeah,
you know what I
that-
mean? So if there was
yeah.
if there was like a live action like Reddit world where you just had an avatar, and no one like Reddit, like no one knows who you are on Reddit. That's why
Yeah.
people act the fool to the nines. You
I
know
don't
what
really
mean?
engage in Reddit.
Oh,
I
I
do.
I love Reddit, and I tell people who I am. I'm Joe Camerota. Remember the name, but most people don't. Most people are just
They're like,
literally
whatever.
fucking weirdos behind a computer that like are like, no, I'm
What do you
like,
do on Reddit?
I'm
You
like,
just
I'm
put
like
your
Johnny
opinions out
Rocket
there?
84. You know what I mean?
I
You're,
feel
like, you're
like
not Johnny Rocket 84, and they won't even give you a real name. You know what I mean? But me, yeah, you just fucking you go into these subreddits and you just talk shit. I'm banned from so many of them. I have to restart accounts because they eventually just shadow ban you if you shit talk enough, dude.
I thought it
And,
was really astute what Chappelle said about Twitter.
You can post your stand-up videos. People tell you suck, and you can tell them to fuck off right afterwards, dude. It's great. What Chappelle did to Twitter? What do you mean?
Chappelle said Twitter is like the writing in a public bathroom stall, like on the walls there.
Yeah, 100.
And I was like, dude, that's right.
Yeah, 100.
Which is like not,
yeah,
it's amazing what we're capable of when given the
right.
marker
Yeah.
and the privacy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love the internet, but once again, I tell people who I am. I'm creating art. Like it's Joe Camerota. Remember the name. You know what I mean?
You're not doing it anonymously, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. I'm creating a legacy, man, in art in that way. I love that. When I was a kid, I used to pretend that my life was the Truman Show when I was a kid. Like I really,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Dude. Like fucking, I fantasized about like.
Were you Ed Harris or were you Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey.
Okay,
Yeah. But it was like something I knew. I knew the whole world was
Who
watching.
was Ed Harris?
No one was Ed Harris. It was just kind of I lived in my mind in this futuristic world where people could just watch my life. It was like reality TV before reality.
Oh,
TV.
yeah.
I kind of lived in this weird world where there was cameras following me all the time, and I would like almost like talk to the audience the way like
Right.
Zach Morris
Yeah.
would do that timeout type shit.
Yeah.
I would do it inside my head just all day long.
That's
dude.
actually like a more.
It was just this obsession that I had when I was a kid.
It's like a more common phenomenon than.
Yeah. I've heard it. You
Yeah.
can Google it. There's tons of people who
Yeah.
kind of live this like
Yeah.
this Truman Show fantasy way before the Truman Show, but it was that actual fantasy, man. I
People
would
are watching.
Before I would go to bed, I would say goodnight to the audience in my head, and I thought that they would watch my dreams. I didn't think that. Obviously, I knew they didn't, but I would fantasize that they would then watch my dreams. That would be the TV show for the night, basically on this channel, and the channel was Joe Camerota.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, man, you're right. That phenomenon is probably so common that now YouTube exists because that
Well,
is
I had
what
a
YouTube
similar
is,
thing,
you know?
like, I didn't
That
have
is
an
what
actual
stories
show.
are.
Yeah.
That's what people are doing, dude. They're literally
Right.
They're literally
Well, which
signing
is
up for the
bananas.
Truman
Yeah, they
Show.
literally have a
That's what
fucking-
stories are on
Yeah.
Instagram. They're literally signing up for the Truman Show in that way.
I had an awareness that not that I was on a show, but that people were watching me.
Yeah.
So like I had to look cool at a particular moment, or like if I did something embarrassing, like they saw me.
Yeah, that
and I had to like play it off even though nobody was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, a lot of people have that fantasy. We got to talk about the name of this podcast because, here's the name that I'm thinking. Because it's about shit I'm never going to do again.
Yes.
So, ready for this? Here's the name. I held an online vote, and this actually won the online vote. It's chicks whose asses I've eaten. That's because okay,
Yeah.
so you know, guys we fucked.
Yeah.
It's that, but like you know the name guys we fucked.
Yeah.
So it's chicks whose asses I've eaten with Joe Camerota.
What were the other options?
Nice Ass and Flats cast, the Nice Ass and Flats cast, and the Politics and Religion podcast. Because I'm never gonna partake in either of those.
Those
Politics,
were the
religion.
only three choices.
Those are the three choices.
Well, I can see why one would win.
Yeah, right. And because it's this dude, like I was thinking about this. I used to eat women's asses. There was a point in my life where when I would hook up with ladies, I would eat their asses, and I don't anymore. And I don't understand why I ever did it. Like, because it's like I never enjoyed it. I just thought that was something I was supposed, like porno, I think told me I was supposed to do that. And I stopped looking at porno years ago. And then eventually I was just like, why the fuck am I eating chicks' asses?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's your podcast.
No, I know.
You name it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though.
What?
I was a huge fan of Quiet Quitters.
Quiet Quitters? You think so?
Well, it's so.
All right, we'll go Quiet Quitters. You like it?
Dude, I love Quiet Quitters.
Okay.
I have a Quiet Quitter moment.
Because that was the original. The original name was Quiet Quitters, which is this idea that like we're talking about. Just I'm never gonna do that again. I'm never gonna. This is what I'm getting. I'm quietly quitting eating ass. Like I'm quiet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I used to show up to hook up with chicks and I would eat their asses. Now when I show up, I'm a single guy. I haven't fucked in 3 years, but should I? I will not be eating the woman's ass, and I will act like that's just not a part. I'll eat her box. I will lick her clitoris.
Yeah.
I will do that. But I will not. I will not eat a woman's asshole ever again.
Well, so that's what. Yeah, great. So I was saying, because I had a quiet quitting experience last night,
Okay.
and I wanted to tell you about it. This is
Okay.
why I think Quiet Quitters, because I think eating ass.
Well, we're probably going with Quiet Quitters now. But go ahead. Tell me. You've already convinced me. But go ahead with your Quiet Quitter moment.
So I did a show last night,
Right.
and
Yeah, I saw the Hallards.
yeah, Halyards,
Yeah.
and with John and Mike, fucking those guys are the best. But so before the show, there was like many things on the show. So part of the people performing on the show were an improv troupe.
Yeah.
And improv people are always like, it's funny. If you put improv people next to stand-up people, like the improv people always look like they're having a good time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Instead, like I'm all by myself in my thoughts.
Dude, can I tell you? So you're
Yeah.
funny. 99% of stand-up comedians are not funny. I'm also done pretending that 99% of comedians are funny because they're less than you're funny. But
I think you're very funny too.
Less than 1% of and that's completely subjective, right? You know, that's completely subjective.
I won't be quietly quitting.
Yeah.
Giving Joe a hand job.
Yeah, there you go.
Stroking.
But like so dude, like I think of course I think you're funny. That's why you're here on this podcast. But dude, like man, most stand-up comedy. I don't judge, right? Because I don't know why you're doing it. You could be doing it just to stand up to your boss. You know what I mean? Just have more confidence in your fucking workplace. You know what I mean? You know, whatever. So I don't throw stones, man.
My boss.
Yeah, just you come on out and you talk your shit because it betters your life. I don't have any questions about that. That's your right. That's fine. But
it almost doesn't matter.
But I'll be damned if I pretend you're good. You know what I mean? Like I will be damned. Will I say you don't belong here? No. You come on out.
Everybody belongs.
Come on.
Everybody belongs in an open mic.
Take your shot. Do stand up. Why the fuck not, man? I'm not gonna watch your set unless it's good. I'll just always
whatever.
Leave. I don't. It's so bad.
So your Quiet Quitter idea.
Yeah.
Inspired me to quiet quit in a situation last night.
Tell me about this.
Okay, so I before the show, I met people that were on one of the improv teams.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, and so there was two girls.
Yeah.
And one of them like introduced herself. She held out her hand, and I shook it. Yeah. And then her friend introduced herself, or she introduced her friend to me, and I went. Oh, is that timer? Yeah, well, that's. We'll see you next week. That's a cliffhanger.
Keep on going. Keep on going.
And so, her friend. So she's like, "This is my other friend."
Yeah.
And so I put my hand out to shake her hand, and her friend like did the like I'm not shaking hands thing, this. The, like, hi, nice to meet you, but like her hands were like this, and in that moment,
so weird, autism. But go ahead.
But in that moment,
I
said to myself, I'm gonna quiet quit
shaking hands.
No, I'm gonna quiet quit arguing with somebody who doesn't want to shake my hand.
Yeah, right.
You know,
yeah.
Just let it be.
Yeah,
she's not a handshaker.
Exactly.
Hey, whatever, dude.
Whatever.
I'm gonna go on with my life.
Yeah.
I don't need to be like, what's your problem?
Oh, dude.
You're not a handshaker. What do you think? You have COVID? You know,
you just go. Yeah, I don't.
Dude,
I don't
and
really.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because I forgot all about it.
And not even that, dude. If someone gives me the cold shoulder, I just mimic. I just go, "You're lost. You're lost. Moving on now. Nicer people." You know what I mean?
Yeah, quiet quit.
Quiet quit.
Yeah.
Quiet quit that person, dude.
Yeah.
If anyone gives me the cold shoulder, fuck it, dude. There's too many people. I don't have time for your mind games. You know what I mean? I really don't. Dude, certain times I meet so many people in comedy where I'm like, within the first minute, I'm like, I do not have time for your mind games. You literally just lost the opportunity of ever knowing me because I just do not have time for your fucking mind games.
I want a Joe Camerota memoir. I don't have time for your mind games.
Yeah, I just do not have.
Joe Camerota story.
I need, dude. So much of my life is me just cooperating to get to the other side of shit.
I love that.
So I can just move on. And people don't even know it sometimes. They think they're getting the better of me, and I'm like, oh no, you are getting the better of me this one time. So I can never come the fuck back. That is a lot of my life, dude. If I go into a place and I ask the price and someone says an outrageous number, I just pay that number and never go there ever again. I don't. You know, some people they're like what? They're like, this soda's $3. No, fuck you, man. This soda is $3 today.
Yeah.
This soda is $3 today, and I am never coming back here. You buy some like food, some bodega, and then they're like, oh yeah, this is $15, and you're like, what? You're like, I thought it was gonna be like 10, and they're like, oh no, it's 15. You're like, you know what? Never here ever again because I know that sandwich is $10 down the street. But dude, do I argue? Fuck no.
That's part
of
living in New York, though. Just navigating bodegas.
Oh,
and
100%.
Prices.
But you just gotta quiet quit that shit, dude. You
don't make a scene.
You just gotta submit to it once.
Yeah.
And kind of go smile. Okay. Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds great.
Here's 16.
15. Great price.
Here's 16, dude.
Great price. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for rolling that up.
Just never, and it's in your mind. It's just like, you know what, man? Never again, dude. Why am I fighting the goddamn world, dude? Let this guy win once. And he's thinking, oh, I got this guy. He's going to be the guy that I get every time. But no, it's just me cooperating to get to the other fucking side of it.
Can I say that I almost like another title?
What's title? What's title?
I don't have time for your mind games.
That could be the other title. I don't have time for your mind games. I do not have time for your mind games.
I really like that. As like, it's just going out into the world and being like, I don't have time for your mind games.
I really don't.
But I guess you can't say that.
Yeah.
You have to do that in a quiet quitting way.
Yeah, you have to quiet quit.
But that's the underlying meaning of like, here's $15. I don't have time for your mind games.
Yeah. Well, my internet audience is going to be disappointed that it's not going to be asses I've eaten.
Well, you know,
no,
the only thing constant is change.
Yeah. So
who knows?
Who knows? That is true. True. I feel that. Let's see what else I want to talk about. You got time, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. We're doing a Patreon episode.
We're doing Rogan. we're doing a Rogan length.
We're doing a Rogan length for this episode, dude.
I always was like, how are those so long? But I guess you could.
Yeah.
Now I see.
Tell you something else. Let's see.
Yeah, I like that you have talking points.
Yeah, right.
You're so professional.
I know you've heard me talk about this before, man, but I am talking about quiet quitters. I am obsessed with Hunter Biden. Kind of the ultimate quiet quitter in a lot of ways. And it's just the guy.
It's a very intriguing story.
He doesn't cooperate with anything, like with anything ever. And that is Dude, I want him to be president. Like that's like, and you've heard me joke about this before, but there's a part of me that is so serious. He can't do worse than his dad. He's probably already low-key running the country. And I'll tell you why. When your dad has dementia, you kind of call the shots. Like, think about if your dad had dementia. You would be calling the shots, or someone you assigned if your mom wasn't
like
there.
Dianne Feinstein, power of attorney. Is her
You-
daughter.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And so the power of attorney is going to be his son in a lot of ways, right? And he's always going to make that
I don't
clear.
know if it's his son, though.
It probably isn't directly.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's
He's
not
got
directly.
more of a squad.
I agree with that. But
in certain situations, you're
at
saying.
the end of the day, man, it's your fucking at the end of the day, my confidant is my brother Sam.
Yeah.
That's my confidant at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If I have dementia, Sam's calling the shots. So you're like, who is that to Joe Biden in his elderly state? It's gotta be his son Hunter. And so there's this weird situation where you're like, okay, this guy is he's a crack, he's a drug addict. He's a various connoisseur of drugs and hookers, and I love that he has a gun. I love that it's one gun. Which I think is just so much fun. Because kind of I would want one gun if I was that guy. I wouldn't think that was an unreasonable request. You know what I mean? You're the president's son. You're like, I kind of want one gun. Dude, I love that he doesn't pay his taxes. What the fuck, dude?
It's an
I love how he went into a court in Delaware, and the setup was going to be that he was going to get forgiven of not paying taxes. He was going to get forgiven of having a firearm, and then ready for this, he could then just do those crimes in the future without being punished.
Well,
what a fucking brilliant setup, dude. He is orchestrating the world towards quiet quitting. Towards you just can't take I'm in the corner alone.
Well, truth is stranger than
with hookers
fiction.
Go on.
I mean, because like it's amazing that you have Joe Biden as the president,
dude.
But like, it's not like he has a cookie cutter family. In fact,
dude,
he has.
If your coworker had that problems, you would say to your coworker, "Do you need time off?"
Yeah.
If your coworker had a son like that, and it was publicized, it was in your local newspaper, you would say to your coworker, "Hey, I heard about Johnny and all the shit that's been going on with Johnny. This sucks, man. Do you need to take some time off in order to make sure, I'll give you an extra week of vacation this year, man, an extra 2 weeks of vacation because you've been a good employee for some time and stuff. And this looks like a weird situation, man. I wouldn't want to be going through this myself, man. I want my good employee back.
It's like,
I'll give you some extra time.
This guy's got to be the president. And
dude, yeah. But that's what I'm saying is you would do this at your local log cutting company. Yeah. This is the president of the United States of America. This guy is a laughable, because you sit there and you go, do we have a country anymore? When the elites can piss in the face of people this much, you go, do we have a country anymore? But here's the other thing. What I'm getting at is that might be good. You know what I mean?
Well,
like it might be in a weird way.
It makes it interesting.
I don't care. At this point, here's my other thing. I'm quitting politics because of shit like this. Because I don't care who runs the country now. I don't care if Donald Trump runs the country. I don't care if Joe Biden runs the country. I don't care if Hunter Biden runs the country, because this is just kind of the state of affairs now, basically.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is maybe something
It's coming down to lone judges that are doing the right thing every once in a while.
And we're not talking Supreme Court.
Yeah. This is just a judge in Delaware that's like, yo, man, this is getting a little weird. I don't want to go to jail in the future for doing something this weird. So I just can't. Because judges are literally being backed into a corner where it's like, yo, dude, I can't sign this. Like, I will go to jail in the future if I sign this. This is weird. This is literal treason.
Which is a good sign. Which is like these are good signs. That's a good sign. You know, for me personally, I'm always like, what the fuck is wrong with me that I want to see Trump debate so badly?
Oh, dude, yeah,
it is such a fucking.
Well, he doesn't even have to, dude. He really
And
comes
it's-
out with these videos. He's just like, this is what I want to say. This is my side of the argument. And you just go, okay, yeah, that's fine. And he never skirts around anything.
It's like I've separated it from the fact that it has to do with.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of people do talk about that. They want to see Biden debate. Dude, I just want to see the guy gone, man. I don't want to see him debate. I
just want to see Trump.
It is
I just want to
abuse.
see Trump debate.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody.
Anyone.
Because it's just.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's watching.
He's fun.
Yeah.
He's fun. And he might not be that bad at this point.
I don't want to see Trump debate Biden. I don't want to see that.
Here's the thing.
That would make me sad.
Do you really think Trump wants to be king for forever? I don't. I really don't think he does. I think those 4 years were a lot for that guy. I think he wants another 4 just to prove a fucking point. Yeah. And then I think do I think he'll try and fund his sons being elected? Yeah, but the Bushes did that. The Clintons do that. You don't think Chelsea Clinton is going to be, you don't think we're going to have to fucking deal with, well, of course we're going to have to deal with Chelsea Clinton down the road, dude. That's just fucking,
well, it's all speculation, right? You know, but right now, like, if you just draw the facts, of like, what's America putting up for their 2 finalists? Do you even think they're gonna make? I mean, it's still a year away. Do you even think? I mean, I guess it's speculation, but it's like, it's almost like maybe
I think
neither of them are. You know.
So I think here's the thing about Biden. I think they're going to go with Biden, and I'll tell you why. I think there's enough miracle drugs, like I'm talking about these pharmaceutical companies, where it's just like, yo, man, we can make him good for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Do you need him good for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
We can make him youthful again for an hour and a half. Can't do it for longer than that. I might kill him.
They don't want to do it.
But like,
but they got to do it.
Yeah, we're going to shoot him full of some stimulants that bring his brain back to life, and explain to him what to say. Tell him he's going to read the teleprompter for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then if it gets weird, though, we'll usher him off the stage, and we'll do a little more fancy stuff. And
don't let let Mitch McConnell thing happen.
Dude, it's like Michael Jackson type doctors. You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, you're old and you want to fucking moonwalk and do everything all over the stage. Yeah, I get. We got those. We got painkillers. We got that stuff. We'll make you good as new for an hour and a half. You need it for an hour and a half.
You think though, like for the most part, it's always this is always how it is. Like I think is like I used to have this childish understanding of like what it is to be the president, and that I was just naive.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like this is this esteemable office when it's just like,
oh dude, can we talk about this?
No, we can't. No,
that guy, the Canadian Parliament gave a standing ovation to
the Nazi?
to the Nazi dude. Okay,
that was that's not a good look.
Not a good look. Also, too, it's like this guy's like, I support the war in Ukraine, and I'm like, do I support the war in Ukraine? No, I don't know. I don't want to agree with the Nazi. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to agree with the Nazi. I do not want to agree with the Nazi. So right away, once again, I'm quiet quitting because I don't know what to think now, right? You know what I mean? Now you just threw a curveball at me, a weird fucking curveball at me. I don't know what to think. But here's the even weirder part. I would think if you're in parliament of a country, maybe you've taken some history classes. You know what I mean? I would think that's what I'm voting for, right?
Google.
Why would history be a major at
that
colleges?
Is a good question.
If
How
it's
the
not
fuck
people
did that happen?
I would think that a person who wants to go into politics should probably major in history, right? Should probably major in history. But we're not electing these people. We're electing like entrepreneurs from like a roadside stand, and who are like, yo. And then you're right. They get into power and they realize how much fucking money is in it. And they started because they wanted to like improve stuff for the roadside.
How does that happen?
Roadside stand.
How does that happen that they have a guy that's a Nazi?
No one reads. That's how it happened.
I can't imagine that's it.
Oh, here's what happened. The guy came and he was at some event and he goes, I'm a guy who fought for Ukraine against the Russians in World War II. And no one ever bothered to look up who's allied with who.
Come on.
Because the second they did it, I swear to God,
if you know the
Jewish Canadian League go like, dude.
No, people know.
Ready for this? I didn't know that. I don't study that shit, so I didn't know that.
But you knew World War II is like the 40s.
I knew in World War II, I didn't know Ukraine was allied with Germany against Russia. I didn't know that. I don't know.
I actually didn't know that either.
Right? I didn't know who's on
right.
what team. You know what I mean? I didn't know that.
I
shit.
didn't know that.
I didn't know that Ukraine was allied with the Nazis against Stalin.
I didn't know.
I don't know who's doing what in that way. Right?
You're right.
But here's what I will say: I also don't work in Parliament, and if I did, I'd probably take an Audible course on that shit. I'd probably take a couple Audible.com courses on world history and on American history so that things in Parliament don't stump me. You know what I mean? I'd probably finish those Audible courses as I'm jogging, but these people haven't. They haven't. They just show up with their dumb partisan opinions, and they just rattle off these dumb partisan opinions that they see on TikTok that are so weird and fringy, dude.
It's not that they don't
They're not doing the simplest of research for their job.
It's not that they don't read, it's a lack of experience.
It's a lack of literally listening to an Audible.com course, which I'm sure probably could have told them who was allied with who during World War II.
I think that's it.
To the point where they would have said, you fought with Ukraine against Russia in World War II? We're all good here today, sir. You should go home. I get that you're not directly working in the SS, but we know who you were allied with. Caught that. So just...
You think somebody would have caught that?
Just go home. You know what I mean? You know who did catch it? Jewish people who saw it were like, yo, we do study that. We actually keep a record of who worked with Nazis.
Bizarre. That one really
Ukraine
I couldn't believe
fought with the Nazis against the Russians. I didn't know that. That's apparently a thing. I still don't even know if that's true. That's just now what I'm being told. But either way, I assume it's true because no one's denying it.
That's the thing where
and now it's like, yo, dude, this guy knew that. Dude, if you knew that you're like Nazi adjacent, you just go, hey, man, I'm good. You know what I mean? I was a Catholic growing up. Not a Catholic anymore. I don't want to be brought into a parliament and applauded for being a Catholic when I was a kid. Fuck that, dude. I don't like the Catholic Church anymore, dude.
Strange.
If someone invited me to be applauded for like charity work I did as part of the Catholic Church when I was younger, I would just say, nah, man, no thanks, because I really don't want to stump for the Catholic Church. I really don't. So this guy knew this shit.
But I mean, this is why it makes me think it's
fucking wild.
This is why it makes me think it's more conspiracy in terms of like, yo, it's so easy to know that this guy was doing that if you're at that level, that the only explanation is that he was put there so people, what I mean? Like it's on purpose.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody you're right about that. The way, but he's like 90 something. So I kind of think, I'm telling you. I kind of think here's what happened. This guy's at a party. He says to someone in Parliament, hey, I fought with Ukraine against Russia during World War II. And they said, Ukraine fought Russia during World War II? Like what's happening today?
We got to get this
guy.
Like
what's happening today? And the guy goes, yeah, like what's happening today, without mentioning Nazis.
Yeah.
And the guy just didn't look it up, literally didn't look it up, went to the Parliament and said, hey man, I met this guy at a cocktail party. He fought with Ukraine against the Russians during World War II. We should bring this guy in. He's 98.
That's exactly what happened.
We're gonna applaud him and everything like that. And then everyone else just applauded because they saw everyone else applauded. You know what I mean? Because they're like, I don't fucking know.
That's exactly what happened.
Someone vetted this, right? You know what I mean? And that was that, dude. And this guy's 98 and he's rattling off. He once again just never mentions Nazis. Just goes, hey, I fought with Ukraine against Russia during World War II. In fact, here's what he says. I fought with Ukraine against Stalin during World War II, whenever it was. I fought with Ukraine against Stalin, against a communist Russia. I fought against communist Russia. He didn't mention I was a part of fascist Ukraine.
Well, I think that's the thing. So I think
like, good Lord.
The explanation is nobody's really that invested.
Yeah.
So crazy shit's happening.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's the way the world works. Like nobody's really fucking invested. Like even
but that's a basic investment, dude. That's like I said.
No, but I mean, they're so caught up in their own shit.
If I become a congressman or a senator, I'm just going to go, hey, man, I'm just going to do myself a quick favor. I'm going to download an American history course from Audible.com. I'm going to download a world history course from Audible.com. I'm going to listen to each one 3 times.
But if you're caught up in your own shit of like trying to make money, trying to gain wealth,
just while I jog,
just trying to like manipulate.
Just looking for hot tips.
No.
Looking for hot tips.
I'm not saying it's not possible. It's 100%
Yeah.
possible. But I'm just saying, like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
And it happens because people just aren't invested.
And here's what I think. Who do I think a guy like Barack Obama is? I think a guy like President Barack Obama is a dude who bothered to listen to some audible.com courses. You know what I mean? And so you can't stump the guy, right? You know what I mean? Because he just actually knows shit. You ask him questions and he goes, yeah, here's the answer to that.
Well,
why? Because, I'm a learned fella. You know what I mean? And that's why he blew away the competition, dude. He showed up and he's like, I'm a Harvard professor. I have opinions and I have facts to back up those opinions. And that's just that. And people were like, you win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like Clinton,
literally, like
Clinton was like a fucking,
same thing. Clinton probably just did basically.
Clinton used to do like 4-hour speeches off the dome.
How do you know not to stick your foot in your mouth? Now, here's the thing: is Trump just appeals to base stuff. He just talks at such a base level that he will never get asked those questions because he's speaking in the abstract at all times.
Yeah.
No, people deserve their freedoms. It's like always in the abstract, right? And whenever he does say something, he literally just parrots whatever somebody smart did tell him.
Well, it's a good sound.
You know what I mean? And he parrots that, and he says it in a super simple way. It's a super dumb and simple way. So you kind of go, hey, I kind of relate to this guy because this sounds like a guy that was explained this by somebody smart, and now he's telling me the King of the Hill version. You know what I mean? He's telling me the Simpsons version of the smart guy, but it sounds like he did talk to somebody smart. It sounds like somebody smart came and told him something, and now he's saying that to me.
All right. Well, what else we got? Because I feel like we're talking about stuff that everybody knows.
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
That's true. You know what I mean?
Dude. Tell you what else I'm not going to go see. I'm not going to go see that new Saw movie whatsoever. There's another Saw movie coming out.
I support
Saw
you.
10.
I never saw Saw 1.
Dude, I saw Saw 1. There's one Saw scene at the end, like that you gotta like look away from. And then I went to go see Saw 2. And Saw 2, there was too many Saws. Just too many Saws. And
quiet quit and Saw?
I quiet quit Saw after Saw 2.
Well, you didn't quiet quit it. You just announced it on your podcast.
Well, I just, but what I mean is I quit it quiet quitting
with
years
your ticket
ago.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because now I'm talking about the quiet quitting, you know what I mean? But years ago, man, after Saw 2, I checked out. Dude, and in my mind, dude, that's got to be like a CIA thing where they're like, you got to keep on making the Saw movies because we're forming a list of people who buy it with their credit card because like these are possible serial killers. There's no way you made it all the way to 10 without wondering, how would I do this? Think about that shit, dude.
That's a hot take. I like it.
There's no way you're making it all the way to Saw 10. By the
it.
way, I watched the trailers for all of them because you kind of can't not. They kind of just come across like, because I like horror movies.
But isn't there like almost like you could just sell those Saw movies globally, right?
Oh yeah, globally they're making global lists. Interpol is making lists.
It seems like a product that people buy.
But also Interpol's making lists at this point. Like they have to, like it's torture porn. They call it torture porn. It's not even called art. It's literally called torture porn.
Interpol's making a list because
it would be a logical thing to ask for. It would be a logical thing to go to Lionsgate and go like, hey man, how would we get these
But
things?
don't we also know like ever since 9/11 that there's a lot of lists being made that, like
I guarantee you
lists are being
serial killers have. Here's the thing. Someone in the FBI is trying to keep their job and they're like, do you have any ideas? And it's like, we could get a list of the people. Because, they're all speaking speculatively, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to prevent serial killers before it happens, And so, dude, you know what? But I'll tell you the one takeaway.
Yeah.
Saw 2 starred Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay.
Who is my favorite Wahlberg? He's better than Mark. Way better than Mark. Way better than Mark.
That is such a...
Ready for this?
I'm
about to prove to you that Donnie Wahlberg is a much greater actor than Mark Wahlberg, the greatest of the Wahlbergs, and America has missed out.
Apparently, you did not see Boogie Nights.
No, apparently you didn't see The Sixth Sense because the opening scene of The Sixth Sense, that dude with his shirt off that's like yelling like, you were supposed to help me. You were supposed to help me to Bruce Willis. That is Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah. He did so good in that scene that you forgot that he murdered Bruce Willis. The whole movie, like at the end, you're like, he was dead? It's because that scene was so fucking
I don't know. All I remember about that movie is the kid.
Dude, go back and watch that scene. I
don't know if I have enough time.
Boogie Nights is one of the greatest movies
films
ever made.
Of all time.
And that's how great Paul Thomas Anderson is as a director, that though Mark Wahlberg is such a shitty actor.
You could say that.
So terrible. He pulled it off. That. And I think he just pulled it off because he was just supposed to be like this.
But I'm not saying like
he's just a big dick. Wow. You know what I mean?
I'm not trying to say Mark Wahlberg is the best actor. I'm saying better than Donnie. That's all I'm saying.
You think so?
I mean, it's just
Personally,
one man's opinion.
I'll tell you, man, I quiet quit Mark Wahlberg a long time ago in favor of Donnie.
He peaked at Boogie Nights. That's for sure.
Right? So that's the whole thing, man.
No, I got it.
Yeah. And it's like that performance, man, I don't think he was the best in that movie.
Oh, dude.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of the best. Everyone's so
everybody
good.
was
William
the
H.
best.
Macy. Oh, my God, dude.
Dude,
Burt
Cheadle,
Reynolds even.
Reynolds.
Fucking. So, Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore, dude.
One of the greatest actresses of all time. I'll never quiet quit that chick.
She's in 2 of the greatest movies of all time. She's also in The Big Lebowski, which is...
Also one of my favorite movies of all time. And if you want to go, I will say 3 greatest movies of all time is the one where all the kids are gone. There's no kids being able to be born.
Children of Men. That movie is...
literally one of the greatest movies.
I was literally thinking of that movie in my head to say that to you.
Yeah.
The one with Clive Owen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Children of Men, dude. Unreal, that movie. Saw it in theaters, dude.
Me too.
Cried in
that
theaters.
movie was flawless.
Flawless. Yeah, that's who's the director of that? Also did Gravity.
Yeah.
Also did the black and white one that I saw in theaters.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
No, is that it?
I think it's Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the.
Yeah, it's Alfonso Cuarón.
Dude, that movie.
It's unreal.
I remember.
Dude, Children of Men is like from a philosophical level.
When he remember when he fucking puts like whiskey in his coffee cup and then there's the explosion, like that's the start of the movie.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
dude, that movie is so good.
Yeah, dude, that tracking scene where he's bringing the baby through the war zone and then the war just stops because of the cries of the baby, dude. Bro. That scene, dude, I just started crying. Dude, I really did. I just started openly sobbing.
What about it?
And at the end where she's like, I'm gonna name the baby after you. Dude, I was just in a puddle of tears. My dad was there and he was looking at me, hoping I'm not gay. He was looking at me and he was going, I hope my son's not gay. And as I was crying, and then afterwards he goes, that movie sucked. You know what was great? That Rocky Balboa that we saw last week. And that's when I kind of realized that some people play to win and some people play to play.
Yeah. Sometimes
not even Rocky. Yeah. Rocky Balboa. Yeah. I want to make that very clear, which was like the 7th Rocky, which was literally called Rocky Balboa.
Oh, not like Rocky 1?
No. My dad said Rocky Balboa. The movie Rocky Balboa.
Oh, like a sequel.
It was like number 8. It's whatever it was. I have no idea.
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. And
that's funny. And you quite quit arguing with your dad about movies.
I did, yeah. I kind of just went like, you know what, man?
Good for you.
Like, this man.
You're a fucking moron.
Though he likes movies like me. The only thing that he was good, he liked Ron Shelton movies, which I will give him that. Ron Shelton movies are great.
Oh, the guy that played Hellboy?
No, no. Ron Shelton movies are, is that? Maybe the same name. I think it's Ron Shelton. White Man Can't Jump. Tin
Ron,
Cup.
Yeah.
Ron Shelton, I think is the dude's name. Yeah,
Ron Shelton.
I want to say that's his name. The director.
I just saw
White. Oh, go on.
I recently saw White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And it.
The new one or the remake or the
no the
original
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes one. Yeah.
And when I saw that in the
Tin
theaters,
Cup. Yeah.
I saw that in the theaters and.
Play It to the Bone was another one, but that one I think sucked that he did. There's this other one that stars Samuel L. Jackson that he wrote. It was The Great White Hype. He wrote that. So good. And he wrote that. Hey, ready for this? Also Ron Shelton. Shout out Ron Shelton, one of the greatest directors of all time and one of the greatest Hollywood men of all time. He wrote the first draft of, and he has writing credit because of this. He wrote the first draft of Bad Boys 2.
There you go.
Dude. One of the greatest movies ever made, Bad Boys 2.
I guess. Anyway, I saw the original White Man. I remember lines from White Man Can't Jump that are phenomenal. Like,
what?
You can listen to Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy. Or like, I just remember Snipes' nails in that.
Oh, dude, yeah, so good, so good.
The movie itself.
Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes, man.
Woody's good too.
Oh yeah, they're both
Woody's
great.
good in everything.
Woody's good in everything. Yeah.
But the looking back on it now, like from where we are now, from how like things come out now, it didn't hold up like when I saw it when I was a kid. Like I had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
But now that's been so done.
I saw Dick Tracy recently, a 35 millimeter print of Dick Tracy. Dude, ready for this? Yesterday, my favorite coffee shop in the Village. Guy walks in, sits down with his daughter to chat and talk about family affairs and everything. And I'm sitting there with my buddy Christian. It's the end of the day. Christian works there, and I'm just sitting there. Me and Christian are looking at this guy, and we're overhearing him and his daughter talk about like family plans for the year. Dude, ready for this? Billy Baldwin. Dude, we're sitting there looking at Billy Baldwin, and he has the same. He sounds just like Alec, but you're like, no, that's Billy. You're like,
who's the best Baldwin actor?
You know what? Might be Billy, dude. Backdraft, Flatliners. But then it was over. You know what I mean? And then Stephen Baldwin, Usual Suspects. You know, but then it was over.
Is it Stephen Baldwin,
The Way of the
or
Gun?
is it just
The Way of the
Usual
Gun?
Suspect?
I think was Stephen Baldwin too, right? No, Ryan Flippe and Stephen Baldwin, right? Way of the Gun.
I don't know.
I think it was.
That was McQuarrie's follow up though.
Ryan Flippe also too.
Is that how you say his name? I never knew.
Dude, I love, Cruel Intentions and The Way of the Gun. So good. So good. So good. So good. Yeah. Yeah, but Billy Baldwin, dude. I would say Daniel Baldwin is the shittiest of all the Baldwins, obviously.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, right. You know, never had the A-list moment, right? The other three had their A-list moments, right? Like Billy Baldwin was the co-star of Backdraft. You know what I mean? A Ron Howard movie, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the ensembles of Flatliners. You know what I mean? And then went on to just this long. You know, now he's just playing he's like Craig T. Nelson now. I just play dads in movies and shit like that, right? In like movies
he's not
with
waiting
dogs.
tables.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He's probably making at least a cool $200-300K a year.
I liked Alec Baldwin in
Sidewalls.
in Malice.
Al Baldwin's great. But I think Billy Baldwin's probably the best Baldwin. But Al Baldwin's great. You know what I mean? No complaints with Al Baldwin, dude. I haven't seen Malice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Malice. I guess I like 30 Rock, right? You know what I mean? So that's like kind of the weird thing is that like he shines so much in that it's tough to think of him. You know, you think of all these movies, like he was in The Departed. You're like, I was in The Departed. You know what I mean?
He was great in the part when he grabs his dick.
Yeah, no, he was great. Yeah, he was great in The Departed.
What are you, health nut? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So good.
He's so iconic. And yeah, that was a good move going on TV, man, because he became the popular Baldwin, dude. And because of that, he kind of steered ahead of everyone else. Yeah.